Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna. I'm your most favorite manifestational coach on the internet and in the world, as the universe at large. All the information for me is below. I mainly coach in audios and emails. I also do include some telephone sessions in all of my packages. You have the option of signing up for a package that's audio based or telephone session based, mainly. The difference in price is obvious because I have to be on the telephone with you every other day, usually have a slot for our sessions. I record those sessions with your permission, of course, only if you give your permission. But the reason I record those audios or sessions, rather, is because I like to take notes. Everybody gets an individual pad in my coaching. I take extensive notes. The reason I like to do that is because first of all, I'm old school. Secondly, is because I like to refer to what you had said instead of re-listening to the entire conversation. I'd rather refer to the notes that are really important to me. We go through everything, your childhood, your adolescence, your college years, up until today, in order to establish what you have created thus far, the kind of blueprint you walk around with. And I really want to get to know you, not just, you as a personality, but the kind of history that you have. You need to book through my website, which the link is below, or if you prefer, you can pay by Cash App. Those are your two choices. There's also Zelle or Zelle, I don't know how you pronounce it, which is direct wire to my bank account. But essentially, in any event, you need to sign the agreement with me to start coaching with me, which basically states the rules of the coaching, that I am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm a coach. You need to be within the parameters of 20 minutes of audio at a time or an hour of conversation at a time. I usually go over, but I mean, it's basically up to me if I go over. You need to respect my methods. You can rebuttal me. You can disrespect me. And the coaching fee is non-refundable. The payment needs to be in full. And it helps if you pre-book and let me know, email me, essentially, once you do it. So I can tell you the date that you can start on. The reason is that there usually is a wait, okay? And I'm fully booked until January, but the way that it goes is that I need to have, how can I explain this? There's usually people leaving my coaching and entering it. I'm fully booked through January. Doesn't mean that I cannot take anybody on. It just means that there are people leaving simultaneously with new people entering. I have a lot of clients in my coaching, but there's usually a changeover going on at the same time. So you really need to pre-book and email me that you've booked, and I will let you know. It's usually like a week or so, 2 weeks or so of wait time before you can actually start. All right. So I hope I explained that. I don't know if that made sense. There's always somebody leaving my coaching and then starting, but I always have clients. I hope I explain. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, please make sure you sign the agreement and send it back to me. There are also different packages on my website in terms of there's a seminar and there's a coaching for coaches. All right. There's also a package for somebody who wants to just do it themselves. It's called the Crash Course for One. It's basically an audio instructing you through the entirety of my coaching. And then you get up to 2 hours, 2 sessions basically on the phone with me, asking any questions that you might have. If you've got any questions, please email me. My email is below. Thank you very much. Okay, today's subject is called the power of mindset. Okay, I discussed this profoundly, extensively in my coaching with every single one of my clients. And it usually goes like this, right? After we're done covering your history, which is really, truly important to me, like I said, starting with childhood, early years, this and that, adolescence, college years, to the present day, we work through your beliefs, and then we go to work on, there's sometimes forgiveness that needs to take place, as well as prescription of certain situations. But at the end, towards the end of my coaching, I coach people to produce a new persona, a new personality that is going to have this life that you crave, that you want to have, because with this new personality comes that life with the money, the SB, the everything that you want. But it comes with a mindset. Because sometimes people say, I know how I manifest certain things because I'm in that zone, I'm in that flow, I'm in that mindset. But then it goes away because I stopped having that mindset, right? So how to have that mindset permanently, right? Or even if you don't even know what that's like, right? How do you get there, essentially? Okay, speaking from my personal experience and the experiences of my clients, I would have to say it's this, okay? If you take yourself too seriously, if you take this 3D too seriously, it becomes a little bit arduous. You're too fond of this 3D situation, which is not even real. Like, you can touch something and you can feel what this object feels like. But these are just your senses. Scientifically speaking, if I'm touching something, I have neurons in my brain telling me that I'm touching something, but really I am not. This is just consciousness experiencing some kind of construct. You're constructing all of this. I hope this makes sense. And so if you're sitting in a chair, or you're laying in bed, or you're walking in the park, or in the street, and this and that and the other, or you're driving a car, this is just consciousness. It's conscious, like when you go in a dream and you're experiencing certain things and you wake up and you're like, wow, that dream felt so real. I could have sworn I was in that reality, but you were. The fact is you were. To me, dreams are not just dreams. When you go to sleep, when you dream, and if you remember, wake up remembering that dream, that is not a dream. That's a parallel reality. Completely 100%. I've had dreams where I was so present in the dream, where it felt like entirely like a reality. I've had dreams where I went back and I was in 1950s, 1930s, things like that, Middle Ages, and it felt so real. And I knew exactly, like, I was married to some person, or I was like, being killed, or this and that and the other. And it was so real to me. It was so real because it is a parallel reality. So it's all consciousness. This is just to illustrate that this is consciousness-based reality. Maybe in another parallel universe, there's other laws. I don't know. There are different theories about this. But in this universe, in this construct that we occupy, this is imagination-based. This is consciousness-based. And so you really need to pay attention to basically the kind of consciousness you bring into this, the kind of mindset, the kind of power that, first of all, you give to your creations, right? So you have unlimited, you're so unlimited that you can create all of what is surrounding you. That's how powerful everything that is surrounding you right now, you created it. You're creating it so automatically, so effortlessly that you don't even think about it. Like when you wake up in the morning, like right now it's about 5:30 in the morning in New York City. I don't have to think about the sun coming up. I know it's going to come up. But guess what? In my reality, I create that. I create that. The sun comes up in my reality because I create that. Now, to most of you, it's going to be like, well, Anna has gone completely bananas. She thinks she's making the sun come up. Well, you know what? I'm awake. I'm alive. The sun's coming up, and that's my reality. Maybe in some kind of other reality, the sun never comes up. That's it. We're done. Finished. It's an extreme example, I agree. But I'm just saying, you're creating all of it. You are the sun, you are the moon, you are the stars, you are the clouds, you are the trees, this is your consciousness, in other words. And so when you go with this mindset that you want to create something with, first of all, you understand that it has already been created on a different level, in a different reality. Why I gave you the example of parallel realities as in dream states. You already have created it. You already lived that reality. The reason that you want to create it is because you already lived it. That's the whole mind fuck, right? You already created it. How did you create it? It's you just remembering that you created it. The reason the desire is there is because you already lived it. Okay, don't worry, I'll wait for you to download this message. You're not really creating, you're just like revealing what is already there. That's the whole thing. So when people get obsessed over me and start really kind of like acting silly in my coaching sometimes, and I have to drop them because I just don't have the fucking time for the drama panorama. It's this. This is the premise. First of all, they don't understand I need to respect the coach. They don't need to battle me. They don't need to disrespect me. They need to respect themselves. When you disrespect somebody, you disrespect yourself. That's number one. The other thing is that you don't need to go these kinds of weird ways in order to accomplish something that you really want. And what you really want is what you really want. Right? And so if you just understood that it's already yours, and I mean, in the case of a coach, somebody's just trying to reveal what's already there and helps you get there in the most efficient way. You're going to have to put your trust in that person because, well, if you don't trust somebody, you don't trust somebody. But if you go into the mindset with somebody that this is what I want to have accomplished, this is my purpose, this is my desire, you're going to have to start relinquishing certain kind of ideas that prevent you right now from accomplishing it in the first place. I hope this makes sense. The reason you're not accomplishing something right now, I don't care what the fuck it is, SB, money, career, you name it, under the sun, is because the mindset is flawed. You're looking at your reality through the prism of your distorted, may I say, beliefs. That's it. That's all that's happening. So if somebody comes along like a coach or somebody who's trying to help you and tells you, look at, do you see what I see? This is distorted. you have a distorted point of view. And this is why being direct in terms of coaching is very helpful, because I will definitely hurt your feelings. I will definitely challenge you. I will definitely make you uncomfortable, in that I will make you face yourself. Not in a disrespectful way, but in a very strong way, in a very powerful way, which will make the transition, quite frankly, from the dysfunction to the function a lot quicker. Now, if you want to take your merry fucking time and, spend years on this, be my fucking guest. Like, do it on your own. This is not the kind of shit I do. I do it painfully sometimes for some people, but quickly. Now, again, if you want to prolong your misery, your dysfunction, and and this and that, yeah, you can do it, but not on my timetable, right? What I do is very simple. We go through everything that hasn't been functioning. I need to know what has been going on. Okay, and I ask you a ton of questions. We go through everything. Bye. You do have to show up. You do have to do the work. When I give you an assignment in my coaching, you do have to show up prepared. Otherwise, I get fucking annoyed. If you don't want to do the work, then you know what? I can't do it. I can't like babysit you. All right. You really need to show up prepared. Just as much time that I'm investing, I invest in all of my clients profusely, because I really care about everybody doing really well. But you have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to be committed to becoming a new person. I can't do it for you. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you what I think. You have to let me tell you what I think, and you have to let me guide you. It's very simple, actually. And so the getting to the mindset has to be that you are in concert. At some point, you will fuse with that new person that has already always been there in the parallel reality, that new identity, essentially, with the new mindset, who has always had that life that you crave right now, or that SP, whatever it is. And the way to reveal it to yourself is to start chipping away the old beliefs that don't serve you, have never served you. Somehow you've picked them up, or, downloaded them from your mother, father, other people. But now it's time to let go, And different people have different stories. There are different circumstances where you have an event, or events plural, where you majorly were affected by something, and it was like so sometimes catastrophic that to your psyche, where you just sit there like, wow, like to yourself, you don't think about it even on a daily basis, but sometimes it's what you don't want to think about is what affects you the most, quite frankly. And that's what needs to flip. It's that mindset that needs to flip, that mentality that needs to change from victim, which you were at that moment in time, to victorious. Okay, from victim to victorious, from accepting whatever happened to changing it. In your favor. And there are different exercises I offer in my coaching, different ways of processing these things, where you basically, honestly, make it to your fucking advantage. That even, yes, this happened, but because this happened, this and this happened also, and it wouldn't have happened otherwise. And because all of these wonderful things followed afterwards, actually this bad thing is not so bad. Meaning, I let go of the tremendous pain that I have associated with all of this, because I've learned so much, because I became a better person, because pa. This is very, individual, of course. This is just a general statement. The feeling of having gotten what you want is very different, from not having it yet and from asking. If you're asking, it's like, I'm asking, I'm desperate or whatever. I'm asking. Now, feel the difference between I'm asking, I'm in need or desperate or whatever, wherever you are on that trajectory, from the feeling of, I have it. Don't worry about it. I have it. Different feeling, correct? Yes. So that's the difference in the mindset. The mindset needs to change. It's not that you're changing the 3D. Forget about the fucking 3D. You're changing yourself so that the consciousness changes and the outpicturing of the reality changes in conclusion of that change, following your change of consciousness. And so that's the entirety of work. That's actually everything. This is everything. This is it. The kind of trust that needs to be there to create something different than was before is the trust in yourself. And that comes with, again, self-examination, real honest self-examination. So in my coaching, first of all, you need to be honest, you need to be humble, and you need to drop the fucking bullshit, okay? And be respectful. Drop the bullshit, don't bullshit me. I am a very intuitive person. When I feel something and I tell you something, it's coming not even from me. And I've said this on so many occasions on my channel. I'm channeling. Like sometimes I listen back to the recording and I don't even know who's talking, meaning myself. It's like, who's talking? Like, I don't even remember saying certain things because I'm channeling. I'm in that flow of information. Like, you interact with me on the phone, or maybe it's an audio or whatever. I'm channeling. I'm there to assist you. And this is why, people who are disrespectful and rude and obnoxious and this and that, it's disruptive to me because I can't be in that flow. I need to go take a bubble bath, take a champagne bubble bath. No, just kidding. and drink a bathtub of chamomile tea and then come back around. But essentially, this is channeled work. And this is why it's very, very productive. The power of mindset is this. When you're in sync, like right now, again, it's like about 5:40 now in the morning. And I'm most productive in my mornings. I know who I am. I've worked on myself for like a long time now. About 15 years now. I've been doing self-examination and self-work where I can actually help somebody else. Been researching, reading, When when you're in sync, when you're like one with the ideal self, you're so empowered that you can say to the mountain, fucking move, and it will move. You don't need to run around, do anything. You can just say, mountain, go fuck yourself. Go move. And it will move. You can say to your SP mentally, hey, you know what? Come back. Let's talk. And they will come and talk to you. I've had this happen so many different ways. It's not even funny. It's not even funny because it seems right on the outside in the 3D that everybody's so obsessed about, that something else is on the outside, like someone else is directing the outside or something is happening outside of yourself. Nothing of the kind, my darling. It's all you anyway. Like, I'm sitting here right now, and last night I actually had a conversation with a friend who I haven't spoken to in a very, very long time. And they were busy with some things and this and that. But I literally just thought of them. I had a thought. I was like, I wonder how they're doing. I hope they're doing well. And they reached out to me. Within, I think it was like 15 minutes or something. But that comes with attuning to yourself, to your true self, which requires work on your beliefs, on your bullshit, on your stupid shit that you don't need anymore. And once that falls away, you are the creator that you were originally supposed to be, without all that nasty shit surrounding you, that aura that you've picked up from somebody else, this and that and the other. If you're showing up as your best self, as the somebody who, and I don't mean it in a narcissistic way. I don't mean it in a braggadocious way. Sometimes it might come across that way on my channel, but I truly really want to empower people to reach their potential to the highest of highs, because that's where it's at, in the intellectual, emotional, vibrational, every single way. Because once you're there, you don't do stupid shit. You don't pick stupid people to be in your life. You create new versions of them. You create new versions of events. You create new versions of yourself. You create everything from scratch, over and over and over again. But it's the world I'm speaking of. It's that world where you reside as the absolute golden Buddha, where it's like magic happens as you turn. I don't even know how else to explain it. I'll give you an example, and I already gave this example on my channel. For those of you who have been on my channel for quite some time, probably know this example already. But I have this example of changing somebody overnight, essentially. A few years ago, I had this lawyer friend who I was going into business with, and we had this situation where we needed to go in, half and half. And at the last minute, he was not willing to do it. And it wasn't a huge deal, but I really wanted to do it with him because it was something that I really wanted to invest in and this and that. And it was just the last minute thing was kind of like really boggling to me. And I said to myself, okay, what can we do here? He was like, no, that's it. At the last minute, I don't want to do it. Okay. Now here's where the no free will comes in. All right. When people come into my coaching and say, well, doesn't everybody have free will? No, they don't. They're part of your movie. You do with them what you will. Now, don't be abusive. Okay. Just come from benevolent intentions. And just as long as you're benevolent and there's nothing like abuse going on, you're good to go. I had like 24 hours to go sign up for this project, and I wanted to do it with this person because I knew that his expertise would help and this and that and the other. And to tell you the truth, I was a little bit like, okay, I wonder, I'm going to have fun with this, is what I said to myself. I'm going to have fun with this because I'm going to completely turn this around. And I'm going to prove to myself yet again that I'm the manifester of my life. And I literally sat down with my notepad, which, yes, they're coming, my notepads. I'm sorry, I'm just so busy. I haven't gotten the chance to get around to that task. It's in the process, though, because I'm doing my logo trademarking situation with my lawyers. And so I sat down with my notebook and I said, all right, so we're going to flip this situation. I'm going to make him turn around himself. I'm not going to force him. I'm not going to convince him. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to write down what I really want to have happened. And I'm going to instruct the universe what I want. So what I did was like, I just literally wrote down word for word the conversation, the instructions to the unit, like how he's smiling. He's made up his mind to go into this enterprise with me, and blah 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 blah, and how we're signing the documents, and we're at the lawyer's office, and this, that, and the other, and then blah blah blah. Okay, next morning, this was at night, right? Like, let's say, I don't know, 8 p.m., something like that. The next morning, around 7 a.m., I get the text from this guy, the lawyer, and he said, meet me there and there. Let's do this. I think I really want to do this. That's it. That's all it took. From no, I'm not doing it, no way, no how, no, to yes, all right, I really want to do it. And I really wanted him to do it like I really wanted him to do it. I didn't want him to be forced. I didn't want him to be, coerced or anything like that. I really wanted him to do it but I changed him. Like overnight, something happened. Well, I know what happened. I jumped into a parallel reality that I created. But all of a sudden, he turned into this agreeable version of himself who really wanted to do it with me. That's it. So it doesn't really matter, like, if you fall off the wagon, if you create some kind of an version of your SP or anybody like that, you can jump back on the wagon overnight, but it takes a mindset. It takes a mindset of saying, like I said, I'm just going to sit down and decide what I want to have happened. And that's all that it really takes. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's actually, it's work. You need to go to work on yourself. The change of mindset sometimes will be uncomfortable because it's something new. It's something that you've not experienced maybe in a very long time. And so be prepared for this uncomfortableness. Sometimes you will be triggered. If you've been in a dysfunctional kind of state for a long time, and all of a sudden you have things functioning in your favor, it feels uncomfortable. Trust me, it does. It just does. I've seen it in my coaching. People get weirded out. Like, this is not supposed to go this way. No, yeah, actually, that's how it's supposed to work. The entirety of time this was supposed to work this way, but you didn't know. And so get used to adjustments that are going to make you feel uncomfortable. With the new mindset, there is a new story, there is a new world, there is a new you, new circumstances, and it might not feel familiar, in other words. But that's the premise of jumping parallel realities. It's not always familiar, it's not always doesn't always feel like it's your own at first. And I think when you get used to that kind of situation, where you know that in order to jump realities, you need to become somebody different, you've got it made, babe. You've got it made. You need to be flexible. You need to be delusional enough to allow yourself to go there. Delusion is a very friendly thing, in a very healthy way, though, not in a dysfunctional way. This is why I do not recommend, listening to anybody, observing 3D and this and that. I am always, my school of teaching is pay attention to what you are, who you are, how you feel, what your blueprint is, and everything else will just take care of itself. right? Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. If you need to book coaching, please email me. Thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye.